One thing that you can also do within Evolve, just to see how things are or make sure everything is established, is you could utilize Colorizer. So Colorizer is a utility within Evolve. Right now, I'm in Evolve Electrical, but everything I'm showing will work with Evolve Mechanical. And if time allows, I'll give you a little bit of a preview on that as well on the mechanical side. But with the Colorizer, I could do just a simple one just to make sure I have all the elements established on the works that I'm looking for. With Colorizer, you could do it as you break it up for a certain color for every work set. So maybe again, if you're breaking it by system, you want a different color associated with each system. You can actually establish that within Colorizer. What makes Colorizer different than just native Revit filtering is this is more of a universal where I could say, I want this for my entire project, or I can specify certain views within this. So it's not something where you have to go to every single view and establish a view template or filters. Colorizer is also great for more of a QC process too. So we'll talk through that as well. But we're going to create two simple ones here. And actually, I'm going to delete one of them for now. So I'm coming here, establishing that I want some kind of back-ended settings turned on. I'm going to establish that I'm looking for a rule name. Description is going to be allowing you to tell some of your coworkers why you're creating this. These are project-based, so a lot of settings within Evolve are going to be project-based, meaning you set this up, and then everybody who has an Evolve license will have also access to these settings. So you can set up once and you're good to go. You can also export and import into your next project as well. Since we do have work sharing enabled, you are going to see this owner. So this is owned by me. So you're not going to have any fights in the way of you're establishing a rule and somebody's also trying to create that. There's not going to be any of that stepping on toes at that point. So I can establish my element filter in the way I can come in here and say I want to impact all of my elements. So I can, with this, get really specific in the way of, again, I can come in here and establish a colorizer rule for all of my elements in the way of all my conduit that fall within a certain work set. I want it to be a certain color. But for this one, I'm keeping it high level and I'm looking for all elements that have a work set established as work set 1. Because in my mind, that's telling me that I have not specified a specific work set for them quite yet. The view filter is where I can establish the views themselves. So if I click this, I'm saying I want this for my entire project, all my views, or I can become view specific and come in here and say view name contains QC. You are going to see that the active view I'm in here, I do have QC in the view name. Again, just having some QC action going on here. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to establish this color being red, saying that I want all elements to turn red if they're on this work set. And I'm going to come here and actually establish that within here. So I'm saying all elements that fall within work set 1, within this one view, I want them to be red. And I'm going to enable this. And then the second one I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to say I want to clear the color itself once this does not contain work set 1. So just a simple one, nothing too crazy here. And we're going to refresh this view. And actually make this automated. So what I was doing there is that action here, I can have this automatically change. When I'm making adjustments, it's going to automatically change. So you're going to see right now, I have all of this elements are red because it is indicating that they are not associated with a certain work set. So this is one way that you can utilize Evolve is more so like a color or like more of a visual aspect of, oh no, something is on the wrong work set, just visually speaking, because I'm seeing a color. So again, I can come in here and switch it to equipment. And then at that point, it is no longer red. So a nice little quick way to visually see that. Yes, so great question. How is Colorizer different from the filter rules and filters? A great question. So it works very similar to filters and view templates, but it's helpful in the way of you can come in here and again specify it right within here for the view filter. So again, instead of with templates or filters having to go to every single view and establishing that, you can establish this right here. So I could say for all my views, or again, maybe you have within your setup, you have certain breakdowns of like conduit or cable tray or your duct versus your pipe, blah, blah, blah. If you have that broken up, you can establish it right within here. So certain rules will then be impacted only by that. And then within here, you can also have a little bit of fun of, again, like this, where it's triggering based on certain, again, parameters that you're looking for, gives you a little bit more control. And then also anything that you typically wouldn't be able to, again, find or establish that way, we have a little bit more ways to, I guess you can say, be a little bit more in depth with what you can find to change the color of it. But great question there. All right, so let's come in here and talk about some other stuff here. So I'm going to quick use my auto route, play some conduit here, and also throw in some hangers just so we can have some fun things to play around with when it comes to this. All right, another pull going up here as well. Actually, let's redo that and let's make sure that I have extended equipment checked. Get that rocking and rolling here. And let's remove this. So we got some of our conduit placed here. One thing is, again, you're like, oh, it didn't turn red on me. So with the colorizer, again, there is some functionality too to have it be a manual or also the automated. So again, you can utilize this more as like a QC check for you. So you can have them turned off. And then when you want it to turn on, you could refresh it or you can have it automated as well. So something that you can also have in the back of your pocket to again, just make sure that you're holding yourself accountable for that as well.